Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You're here on the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review. Today, I want to talk about Tier 5 premium destroyers. So, we're looking at the Anshan, and believe it or not, out of all the destroyers at Tier 5, with a reasonable amount of games played, I have the best winning percentage of all those games in the Anshan. You know, a lot of good destroyers at Tier 5 premiums, specifically T61, Monahan. I have a 7 kill game in the Monahan. We'll go look at those stats. There's the 7 kill game, just a 60% winning percentage. Max damage, couple thousand, better than the best game in the Anshan. Let's go look at that T61. Are we going to look at the T61? Maybe we're not. All right. Gepard W. I do have an undefeated record in the Gepard W, but, I've only played 3 games in the Gepard W. So the Anshan is my best Tier 5 premium, the one that I think I work the best with. If you're not familiar, it's a Russian destroyer that was transferred to China and now has what we call deep water torpedoes on it. At least the way I play it, you can put regular torpedoes on it. Your torpedo range would drop from 8 kilometers to 6 kilometers. So I don't do that. I stick with the deep water torps. This allows you to gunboat most ships at the tier, most enemy destroyers at the tier, pardon me, and then use your torpedoes on the enemy battleships, cruisers, and aircraft carriers. All right, we're in the game on Greece. We are top tier in the Anshan. This isn't going to be like a tremendous game, at least from a damage standpoint. It's going to be a game that encompasses why I like the Anshan so much. It is the perfect blend of Russian gunboat destroyer with better torpedoes. And the one weakness the Anshan has, most Russian destroyers have, and that is bad AA. So we turned our AA off, and we're trying to avoid the airplanes if and when we can. When we can't avoid them, we'll turn the AA back on, and we'll maneuver. Now remember, thanks to the new spotting mechanic, only the carrier sees us right now, and the minimap sees us, but enemy ships can't see us to shoot at us. So just by dodging at the last second, we will save ourselves a little bit of damage. And then he's coming back, and because he is a HE bomber, we're going to be perpendicular to the drop. And again, he misses. And we are still unspotted by a regular ship. Hyuga out there, definitely a ship we need to be concerned with. We're going to launch one set to launch. We got Emil Bertin, and I saw a glimpse of a destroyer right there where those planes are coming back up. And it is a Vastress, and we're just going to wait until we can see the Vastress again. So I am now in hunting mode. I don't care about the bombers anymore. I am concerned with killing the destroyer, because that is one thing that you are going to be very good at in the Anshan. I hate to say it, I feel that a lot of people sleep on the Anshan. Everybody's about the T61. Don't get me wrong, having sonar is a great help, especially at this tier where not a lot of ships have it. But that being said, I really think the Anshan is overlooked in terms of its capabilities. Aside from not having the ability to detect, it's got fantastic guns, it has got fantastic deep water torpedoes, and again, aside from the AA, it really can do everything you need it to do out here at Tier 5. All right, looking at the Nevada, and there's some airplanes up in the air, and we are engaging them, allegedly, with our AA at some point. Emil Bertin, I want to say, a little bit hidden behind this island. And then we see he's starting to move forward, so we're going to turn and get some torpedoes out. Again, these torpedoes, because they look like balls going across the water, that means they cannot hit enemy destroyers. So don't waste your time shooting at enemy destroyers with your torpedoes. Nevada over there, we've got this little outcropping of islands right here. We're spotted, and there is a Fubuki. And that is not the Vasterus that I was hoping for. So we're going to get right behind this little island. And because Fubuki is being spotted by my teammates, I'm going to hit my smoke screen. And we are going to get the opportunity to pick Fubuki apart with our guns. And this is just a totally ideal scenario. Fubuki is spotted by another teammate. And that leaves me carte blanche to fire away with my guns from inside my smokescreen and utterly decimate Fubuki. And he literally cannot do anything to stop me except for flail out helplessly with his torpedoes. Speaking of which, here they come. But because we were positioned behind this baby island, this little reef here, we took no damage. They went right by us. Queen Elizabeth, we are going to light the Queen Elizabeth up. Can we get a double strike? Well, the answer is no. Someone else kills the Queen Elizabeth. All right, Emile Breton. Just making sure my teammates don't forget about Emile. And we are turning our guns. We got armor piercing loaded. Can I get some armor piercing shells in on Emile Breton? And the answer is no. He died too. So the entire enemy team, save the Vasterus, blunted themselves against the blue team over here. So we pretty much decimated half of the enemy team. I think the Vasterus is also already dead. So we killed 5 enemy ships over here using teamwork. And it wasn't like we talked about it and made a little huddle in the backyard and then went out and did it. We just did it intrinsically. And this is one of the best parts about the game, when your teammates understand what has to be done and everybody does what they should be doing without needing to communicate it. All right, so we get our solo base cap. We are off, and I'm heading towards Charlie. And my goal is to A, spot enemy ships, and B, cap Charlie. That's it. I don't care about kills. We only have 14,000 damage. We killed probably the most dangerous destroyer in terms of torpedo power. And wait a minute, did we just see the other destroyer? I think it is a Jean Wei. That means it is a tier 4 tech tree destroyer, very capable. I had a fantastic game in the Jean Wei in my tech tree spotlight, but it's just like us. It has deep water torpedoes that can't hit me, and it's adapted from, I think, a British ship. So we know its capabilities. It is definitely not the gunboat that this ship is. All right, there is Jean Wei. We're going to hit the brakes here in a minute to try and throw off his aim. He is maneuvering a little bit, so we do miss a salvo there. And he totally turns in as we grind to a halt. And then he's going to flatten back out and give us that sweet broadside. And we burn him down. Destroyer number 2, dead. All right, so meanwhile, one of our destroyers goes by. There is the enemy carrier, the Ranger. If he was smart, I think he would have spent more time going after me. But that being said, he didn't do that. So now in drips and drabs, we're going to make him pay. And the great thing about the Anshan's guns is that they maintain a lot of that Russian trajectory capability. So we get a 10.7 kilometer range with our build. And I know it would be tempting to use armor piercing at this range, maybe against a really soft skinned target like a carrier, but we're just trying to get to catch him on fire and burn him a little bit. So here I'm leading him way too much. But as you can see, this is a relatively flat trajectory at max range. And so please, whenever you get the opportunity in the Anshan, use these guns that they were intended to be used, and that is at maximum range. Here we're leading just a little too much because we're at the very end of our gun range, and I'm just trying to catch Ranger on fire. I have no idea where his planes are at. Oh, they're back in the cap circle that we left like 3 minutes ago. All right, too little, too late. So we're getting a couple of shots in there. Here my aim is off. We're going to adjust our fire here in a second. There's where we need to be aiming. And again, I think this is a really nice shell trajectory for a destroyer at this range. He's 9.7 kilometers away. So basically 1 kilometer from our max. There is a Citadel hit with HE. All right, we set him on fire as well. Insult to injury. But when you're getting Citadel hits with your HE, you don't need to switch to armor piercing, because we're also setting him on fire in addition to getting Citadel hits. And then he flattens out. And as he flattens out, we're going to get another Citadel hit with HE. Somebody else shot at me and damaged me a little bit. I'm just totally ignoring that. Maybe he's bombing me at this point. Another Citadel hit with HE. Continuing to just chip away. Another Citadel hit with HE. And I think we're going to finish him off as he fades out of view with a final Citadel hit for our third kill. So we've killed 2 destroyers. We killed the enemy carrier. Obviously not all of them, but we did a fair amount of the damage. And the enemy just has a cruiser and a battleship left. We are getting our second solo base cap. Our teammate, the other destroyer, smartly went on to Charlie to capture that, or Bravo, pardon me, and I commend him for making an intelligent play, because us capping 2 bases at the same time is a lot smarter than 2 of us capping 1 base. So I'm about to cap this base. There's the solo base cap, and he is going to start to flip Bravo. Meanwhile, there is 1 ship left. I think it is a Hyuga, maybe that we saw at the beginning of the match. Anyway, we're going to sail out here. I don't think the the Anshan is on sale right now in the store, although admittedly I didn't look. I was thinking about Gremiashi for some reason. I know the Gremiashi is not on sale. I don't know if the Anshan is available, but if you're looking for more of a gunboat at tier 5 and you need a premium, I can't recommend it strongly enough, especially if you have Sajen Bing high level, and that is my commander in the ship. We were just trying to check our torpedo range and range to target, but unfortunately for me, we're not going to get a chance, I don't think, to do any meaningful damage here to the remaining enemy ship. So, Anshan, tier 5 premium, you want to run your gunboat commander, Sajen Bing, which increases your armor piercing penetration angles, and it also has the benefit of being able to mount 8-kilometer deep water torpedoes or 6-kilometer normal torpedoes, which can kill other destroyers. That being said, as I've run into our ship here, I was like, dude, come on. How can you be going this way? The guy's going the other way. At the end of the day, I wouldn't mount it with regular torpedoes. I think you can handle your business against enemy destroyers with your guns. So if I were you, I would mount the deep water torpedoes and get a little more range. Because as you can see, our concealment is 5.6. So at least we have 2.4 kilometers of stealth to launch our deep water torpedoes from. As opposed to the regular torpedoes, you would only have 400 meters of a stealth launch window. And that's just not enough in today's day and age. So, excellent ship. Very capable of doing its job. In this game, we got two solo base caps. We killed 2 enemy destroyers. And we're not going to get to do anything with Hugo, although he is in range. And we did shoot. We didn't land a shell before he died. So I don't think it's any wonder why me and this ship really work well together. We ended up with 46k damage, 3 kills, 5 Citadel hits, 2 solo base caps, and a couple of cap defended flags. 312,000 silver, 7,200 ship XP, 7,500 commander XP in the Anshan. Quite frankly, the ship that I work best with at tier 5. I would love to hear what ships you work best with at tier 5, destroyers only. I'll have another tier 5 battleship video coming back in this series. But I hope you enjoyed this one. Like, comment, subscribe down below, And thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next video, everybody.